On a quiet Wednesday night, my partner, distracted by her phone, casually remarked that I was expendable. There was no anger in her voice, no hint of confrontation, just a throwaway line as if I were an outdated gadget ready to be swapped out. The comment wasn't accidental, it was deliberate, meant to sting. I swallowed the hurt and nodded slightly, pretending her words hadn't shaken the foundation of our life together. A decade of marriage, 10 years of dedication, compromise, and making sure she felt valued. When we met, she was struggling. I supported her, paid off her debts, encouraged her dreams, and offered the stability she'd never known. And now, suddenly, I was dispensable. That night, as she slept, oblivious to the storm she'd triggered, I made a decision. I wouldn't argue or plead, she didn't deserve that. Instead, I would do the unexpected. I would walk away, making sure she felt every step of my departure. For weeks, I played the attentive husband. I smiled, asked about her day, prepared her favorite meals as if we were back in the glow of our early years. Meanwhile, quietly, I unraveled our intertwined lives. The house was mine, bought before we married. The cars were in my name. The shared account, mostly funded by me, could easily be split. Credit cards linked to my credit were revocable with a single call. I met with a lawyer, checked every detail, leaving no loose ends. There would be no surprises for me. The moment came on a Saturday morning. She strolled into the kitchen, her usual air of confidence intact, completely unaware that I had spent the week dismantling our financial ties. "Any plans?" I asked, pouring her coffee. "Maybe catching up with friends," she replied, her voice distant. Then, with a smirk, "You'll be fine, won't you? Lucky I've stayed this long." That was the final cut. I slid a thick envelope across the counter. She looked at it, curious. Inside were documents. Joint accounts emptied, her credit cards canceled, the car she drove no longer hers, and a separation agreement awaiting her signature. "What's this?" she asked, tone sharpening. "It's what you wanted," I said calmly. "Freedom. A chance to find my replacement." Her hands trembled as she read the papers, reality crashing over her like a cold wave. She understood the legal terms and saw the safety net she had relied on was gone. "You're serious?" she whispered, voice quivering. "You said I was replaceable?" I held her gaze. "Now's your chance to prove it." For the first time she was speechless. The weight of her own words pressed down on her. She tried to backpedal, voice softer. "I didn't mean it like that." "You said it repeatedly in different ways," I countered. "You meant it. That's what matters." She scrambled for control. "You're throwing away our marriage over one comment." "Not one comment," I said. Years of dismissal. The exchange was calm. No yelling, just the raw truth laid bare. The silence in the kitchen was heavier than any argument we'd ever had. Within a week, she was gone, without a home, without funds to sustain the lifestyle she was accustomed to. Her so-called friends, who had flocked to her when money was plentiful, vanished when the luxuries disappeared. Reality hit hard and fast. At first, her messages were bold, "You'll regret this." Then they softened, "Can we talk?" Eventually, long texts followed. Apologies, justifications, claims of pressure, even accusations that I hadn't appreciated her enough. I didn't reply. Each message reinforced why I had left. Months later, I spotted her in a cafe, sitting alone at a corner table. She waved me over, tentative. The arrogance had faded, replaced by something else. Regret, perhaps, or the harsh awareness of what she'd lost. "I've been wanting to talk," she said softly. "I was wrong. I thought you'd never leave. I thought you needed me more than I needed you." "That was your mistake," I said. "You assumed love was guaranteed, that I'd stay no matter how you treated me." She fidgeted with her coffee mug, then asked, "Can we fix this?" That's when I realized the power in walking away. "No," I said simply. "Some things shatter beyond mending. You made sure of that." She nodded, struggling to stay composed. As I rose to leave, I paused. "You know," I added, "everyone's replaceable. You taught me that. I just realized it applies to you too." I walked out of the cafe without anger, without resentment. Just peace. The woman who once deemed me replaceable had learned what it meant to be replaced, and there was no going back.